first of all, talk a bit about my feelings that surround my current project, and I want to reflect a bit about the daily portrait challenge that I started. It's starting to get a bit like repetitive. I mean, I've been doing it for almost 140 days, so I think it's normal for it to get repetitive. But I also feel like I feel really good about like the current state in which my drawings and like the way the portraits are trying to turn out. I am really happy with that. But at the same time, I want to start like something a bit more big. And I was like thinking about doing a portrait for a long time now. So my sister was like visiting us last week, and my niece and my nephew came along. Their name is Payal and Khalid. Payal is about 11 or 12 years old, and Khalid is I think 7 years old now. And they were in my room, and I was like working on some other like reference pictures for another project that I want to do in the future. And they were like here, and we were talking about the pictures that I took, and I've just like got the urge to paint them like without like any thought behind it. So I asked them if they would be okay with me taking pictures of them and if they would like that. They were really excited about that. So I took my camera out, told them to pose and like try to look fancy for the camera, and I got a lot of nice pictures. Like I got really nice reference, and after that like I got one picture that I think would look really nice as a painting, and I've already edited the picture and like photoshopped it and so on. The picture is ready for me to paint. The only thing that is like that I need to prepare before starting the painting is like I need to cut the canvas linen that I got and just a bit before I can start with the painting, and I'm gonna do that soon, or like right now in this video. I'm really excited about the way this painting is gonna turn out. I'm not gonna make it too big. I'm just gonna like make a medium size, maybe I don't know how to describe it, but it's gonna be like not too big but also not too small, a nice size in which I can like really feel free to move my brush and like have the capability to move freely without like being so precise. Yeah. And about the process in which I'm gonna do this painting, when I did my last painting of my brother, I can pop a picture here, I did it with grisaille, and I really like the grisaille technique. But like I've realized in the last painting, first of all, it was huge compared to my other work, and I faced a lot of problems when I was doing the grisaille because I did it with black and white, like with titanium white and ivory black, which made the painting look really blue in the grisaille phase, and it gave me a lot of trouble when I started to do the different glazes with the paint, and it took a lot of layers, a lot of time to get rid of that bluish tint. And I've realized when it came to the last painting I did, it would have been much smarter to do it without grisaille and just like with normal colors, like to start with colors, because it was really big and like it wasn't that smart to do such a big portrait with grisaille. I mean, I am really happy with the way it turned out, but it could have saved me a lot of like trouble and like time if I just like started to do it with color, or at least not use ivory black. I could have used like maybe raw umber. That would have made it a bit more easy because raw umber is closer to the skin color than ivory black. And about the process of this painting, like I want to reflect a bit before I start on it so I can have like a clear way or a plan in which I can do the painting. I would like to do it with grisaille. Time too, because I feel like grisaille allows me to have a lot of control before I get like too advanced with the painting. Saves me a lot of like guessing work. That grisaille allows me to first of all get rid of the value guessing and just like do it with black and white. And because I do a lot of like pencil drawing, which is black and white, I've already have like a really good sense of value. So it takes that part of guessing the color values away and just like makes me do it without like having to think about it as much as I do when I was doing it with pure color. I am really excited and I'm gonna try to film the process of the painting. All right, let's get into it. In my brother's room because I did like the big easel wall thingy that I built with my dad. I put it in my brother's room because he has a really big room, and he was okay with me sharing this room with him for a little studio. This is the canvas that I got. It's nothing too expensive. It's actually the cheapest option I got from the art store from Gestica, but it's like just normal cotton. I will use it for another painting too, so I have to see how big it is. So I don't know exactly how big I want to make the painting, but I know it's not going to be too big. I will just like try and freehand it a bit and like see which size I like. First we'll see how the picture, how big it is. I would like to have this size that has this frame here. I mean, I would like to have a bit more area so they fit exactly in the middle, but like I have to think how big it's gonna be. I think in half is actually really a good start. I will also make it a bit bigger either way, because then I have like room to cut it out and make it as big as I want when I am done with it. Okay, so I cut the canvas linen. Let me move out of the way. I cut it about 100 centimeter by 160, and it's a bit too big than what I intended it to be. So I am gonna cut it a bit shorter and not make it so long. Oh, there's Kurama. Hello Kurama, come. Kurama. So yeah, I decided to make it a bit smaller. Kurama is gonna help me with cutting it, or maybe he will sleep on it, who knows. Hey, my canvas, bro. Yo. What is this? So the canvas linen that I cut out right now is about 100 meters by 120. It has a weird ratio, but I think it's big enough for the painting since I wanted to do it much smaller, and I think this size is even bigger than I intended to, but I think it's fine because I have like extra linen, do stuff and like move the composition around if I need to. I'm gonna pin the canvas linen to the easel, so let's see how this is gonna turn out. I hope Kurama doesn't destroy it before I start. By the way, before I start, I want to show a bit the wall that I built with my dad. It consists of this type of wood. I don't know what it's called, but it's like really cheap. This is like the size of it, and we put like plywood behind it so it's more stable, and we put these chains here, and this whole wall consists of 3 of the same size of this one, and you can see it here. We just like stuck them together with these little thingies. I can show you from the back side of it. We basically put plywood on both sides and then we like put them together. Now it's like a big easel, and it even has like little wheelers, so I can move it around freely if I want to. I put it right now here because like it's the perfect size, and I have like windows here, so I have like natural light coming from in. Although I must say, like the natural light is good for the first stages, like when it's get more like advanced with the colors, then I have like this artificial light here. I can move around and then it can shine light, because I'm gonna use this easel for 2 paintings at the same time. One is gonna be here, the portrait one, and another one is gonna be there. And a little mischievous fella is coming in again. I'm gonna first of all pin the canvas with the easel to the wood, and then I will start with the gessoing process. I usually just like use these push pins, and I have a little hammer I use to pin it to the wall. So I pinned the canvas to the easel right now. It's really stable. I will most likely not use the whole length of it. I'll most likely use it till here and draw from there. And the cool thing is, like, I also have this part right here that I can use for another painting. So I need to gesso it right now. I'm gonna start the gessoing process. Okay, so this is the gesso I usually use. It's nothing too fancy. I think this is the cheapest option I could get from Gestica. To be honest, I don't know how much is left. I don't know if it's gonna be enough or if it's even dry. Okay, it's not dry, that's really good. But there is not a lot left. So I have to see if I can get 3 layers in, because I usually gesso my canvas with 3 layers. I need to mix it first though. It needs to be mixed really well. So I'm gonna do a little POV of this part because my other camera is almost out. I have a little brush that I use to gesso. It's this one, and I don't know what happened here, man. This is not good. Although I'm gonna use another one for just painting. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one. It's a bit excessive because it's gonna eat like a lot of gesso because it's so thick. But the other one is kind of destroyed. Yeah, this one is huge. So I usually, when I gesso, I just like go in and put it. Oh shit. Yeah, that sounds so smart. I usually just like go in. Oh fuck, it's really bad. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use a knife. I'm just gonna go with this brush. To be honest, the other one is too big for me. Yeah, this is gonna work. Fuck. Have to be really careful. I'm actually really excited to paint. Like, since I've finished my last painting of my brother, it's been I think 2 months since I finished it, or maybe 1 month. And since I've got this like little studio, since I built it and like I have my own area to do paintings, I've been much more motivated to like do paintings in a way, because like now I know this is like my own area for it, and whenever I am here I do get inspired to paint, even though it's really small and even though it's not the prettiest. But I am really grateful for the fact that I was able to get this. I forgot how long this takes. So I finished the first layer of the gesso and it's almost dry, but it's taking a bit of time. I think I'm gonna go like eat something and take a little break and then get back to it. Until then I think it should be dry. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna cook. Let's go. So I think I'm gonna make myself Arabic bread with some cheese and tomatoes. I usually just like cut cheese. This is, by the way, goat cheese. It's really easy to do. It's like a little wrap and it's really delicious. Oops. Not a lot of tomatoes, just a bit. And last but not least, olives. I usually don't put olives in, but we have some at home. So I'm gonna put some in. This is almost like a pizza, but it's not. Now I need olive oil. Put a little drizzle of it. Not a lot, just a bit. And last of the ingredients is like salt and pepper. So a little sprinkle of white pepper. Okay, this was kind of a lot. And just a tiny bit of salt because the cheese already is really salty. So just a bit. And then leave it to heat up for about 5 minutes. It's ready. I'm gonna eat outside. So my food is ready. I look crazy with all of this equipment, but this is a vibe that we're going for, to look crazy. I am really hungry and really excited to eat this. I want to talk a bit about my inspiration behind this type of art and this type of vibe from the painting that I want to achieve. My big inspirations mainly come from the Renaissance time and the big masters like Da Vinci, Raphael, Michelangelo, and so on. And I mean, there are other artists that I also like a lot that currently are alive. For example, Cesar Santos or like Andrew Tischler, and I mean, these are like common YouTubers and artists that are known. But for me, the meaning behind art and all of that comes from the time and the techniques and everything that is spent with the painting or like the drawing. And I know that the subjects also play a big role in it, and some art has meaning, some is just like to showcase a skill or a technique. And I realized for me in the latest years that I want to give my time and my effort into the technique and the time I spend thinking about it, and not fully try to achieve a meaning. And I do have paintings that are mainly focused about a feeling or like something that I experienced that I put in the painting and the drawing. I realized that I like it more when I just do what comes naturally and not force a meaning into a drawing or a painting that I did. So fucking good. The weather is really nice right now. It's summer, like the start of summer right now, and it's the perfect temperature. It's not too hot, not too cold. But yeah, back to the topic. It's like I was younger. I was struggling a lot with like finding my art purpose or like my art identity, because I was trying to achieve something that my age wasn't allowing me to achieve, and that is to have a meaning or like put a meaning behind a picture. And that like took me out of my enjoyment when it comes to art. And I had like a little big art block in which I wasn't like sure what to draw, and I gained a new perspective from the husband of my sister. We were like, I was about 14 or 15 and I was struggling, and he invited me to his house, and we were sitting there, and he like took a little apple and a little shoe and put it in front of me and said, let's draw that. And in the moment I was really confused and weirded out, because for me, I thought art should come from the inside and not be so literal. A still life was a crazy idea for me at the time. And when we did that, I gained a new perspective about how art could be anything and everything, and the meaning that we give it is the meaning that we give it. Because for example, if I draw something really meaningful for me, other people that see it that didn't experience the same thing I experienced when I did it cannot really understand what it means and what it's all about. So when I realized that, I've noticed like I can draw whatever I want without it having a purpose, without it having a meaning, as long as I am enjoying it and as long as I am giving my time and effort into really appreciating what I am creating. And that's when I gained a new perspective and took a really big turn when it comes to my art. So yeah, and now currently I feel like I am at a really good place when it comes to art and my perspective on it, because I am doing it fully for the purpose of enjoyment and not to impress anybody. Or I mean, I do want to impress myself when it comes to that. I do have a little expectations of myself, because I know what I can do and what I can give into it. So I have a little expectation, but I am doing it fully from a place of enjoyment and fulfillment. So I am really excited about how this next year is gonna be when it comes to art and other stuff, and how much I'm gonna do, how much I'm gonna create. Because last year was really rough for me because I didn't create a lot. I was having a lot of trouble with the burnout, and I am really grateful for the bad time I had last year, because after I was able to get out of that mindset and mind loop, I had a bigger appreciation for what I was creating beforehand, before I had the burnout. And now I have a new level of understanding my limits when it comes to pushing into art and how much time I spent with it without getting a burnout. So I'm really excited to see how next year is gonna be, especially because I'll be moving out and I'm gonna start like my bachelor's degree in art, specifically design, costume design in Hamburg. And I am really excited to see how next year is gonna be, how my art is gonna change, and if I'm able to find the time to create my typical art, or I will take a whole different turn. And I decided to do that because I want to like get a new perspective when it comes to art, and not only from the perspective of a classical traditional artist, but also something much different what I do. And I thought to myself, costume design would be something nice. I am done with the food, and I will wash this, and then I will do the second layer of the gesso. Let's go! There is not a lot left. I think there is only amount left for this layer and the last one. Or at least I hope there is enough left for the last layer. That might be might get a bit close, but it will do. So the second layer of the gesso is done. To be honest, it's a bit hard to know where I put the gesso, where not, because the first layer makes the linen white and I cannot really exactly tell where I put the second layer and not. So I am going over it and just like spreading it around as well as I can. My container is almost done, which is really shitty. There is not a lot left in it. So I am just hoping that it'll be enough for the third layer. I'm gonna use all of it for this third layer in case I didn't get spots in the second layer. So I'm just hoping that the third layer would like fill in the spaces that I didn't fully fill. Okay, so it's been about half an hour and this is fully dry to touch, so I'm gonna just like do the last layer of the day. There is not any more gesso left at all. I have to get more gesso, but I am hopeful that this will be enough for the last layer. Okay, I think the last layer of the gesso, it's done. I used all of the remains of the gesso, so I don't have any more. And I was able to fully layer it correctly and like use a lot, so it shouldn't be a problem. The amount of gesso, I think everything is covered enough. And yeah. So I just finished the third layer and the last layer of the gesso. I wanted to actually do the sketch today. Like I was thinking maybe I could do the sketch, but it took a lot of time to film all of this. It took longer than I thought. So I will just call it a day for today and continue working on it tomorrow. I mean, it's good either way to leave it to dry fully, so I can have a really nice area to work on when I start the sketch. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna cut this into 2 parts or 1 part or how I'm gonna edit it, but I think I'm gonna make it into 1 video. But for now, I'm gonna call it a day. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. You can tell me in the comments below how you find editing style, or like if you have any feedback, because it's really experimental right now for me. I am trying a lot of stuff and I wanna like make the videos have a really relaxed vibe and like almost in a way give off the vibe of a vlog, but not fully, because it's about art. I don't know if this will change in the future, if I will keep on doing this style or whatever. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any feedback or any suggestions / recommendations on what I can do better or what you liked. Alright, till then, I will see you, and I hope you have a really nice day and create art and enjoy it.